Hi, this is Chuck. Welcome to our video question of the week. This week our question comes in from Bob in Minnesota, and he asks, we had aggressive growth goals, but we find ourselves stuck at $10 million for years. What do we do to get over that hump? Well, Bob, when people talk to me about that, what I come back to them with is, why do you want to be bigger? It might be that the profitability in your company would be the same at 10 million as it is today as it would be at $20 million. So that incremental revenue might result in less profitability on trying to get to that growth number and stuff. So, bigger isn't always better. If I look at $10 million using our average revenue per employee, which is $268,000 per employee, you should be at about 36 employees, I'm guessing, somewhere in that range, plus or minus. If you go to, say, $20 million, that's going to put you over 50 employees, which then that has a whole different, say it's a whole new world above 50 employees for a variety of reasons and stuff. But anyway, think about, first of all, why you want to be bigger than 10 million, because that's a pretty sweet spot for a lot of our members. The other thing to think about is how you get off that plateau. A lot of companies, they plateau at that range. There's other plateaus along the way and other ones as you would grow further. But really the key to thinking about that plateau is doing a strategic plan. What I've discovered in helping our members with strategic planning is there's typically a reason for being stuck at a certain size, and if they have aspirations of being bigger, there's some things that they got to do differently. And one of them has to do with the investment that they're making in the future of the company. So a lot of times the balance sheet isn't necessarily healthy enough to be properly funded for that growth. In other words, the companies that are operating on small EBITDA, the bottom line, just not having good enough earnings to create a healthy balance sheet. And what some companies do is they strip away the earnings from the company by being overly aggressive price-wise, or the owners take money out of the company each year, not leaving enough money to reinvest into new technology or new processes or people or whatever. So they're not reinvesting wisely, and without that investment, they can't get that growth. It just doesn't magically happen. The other thing, there's always that issue of how do you grow? Is it organic growth by just hiring more people, or putting on more salespeople, whatever, or do you think about a strategic acquisition? That might be something to think about, and that's what comes out of the strategic planning process as well. The other thing that I look at too is, what do you have in terms of the marketplace that you're in? Do you have a marketplace that's conducive to growth? Is that a lot of competition? Do you have the right technologies, the premier brands of products for that marketplace? Do you have the people that you need today that can grow? Do you have the infrastructure you can build growth on? It always comes down to three things to me: do you have the right people, the right processes, and the right technology? And if you do, that's the foundation to build that growth on. A lot of people have two or maybe only one of those things, but you've got to have all three of those things in place. The other thing to remember is that some companies that are stuck on $10 million, let's say, a lot of it is because they're into the type of business that we've seen the products actually come down in price, say IP cameras or projectors or display devices. You're still selling maybe the same quantity, but those things have been cut in half, let's say, over the last few years. So you're looking at selling the same volume, or the same number of projects, but the system, digital consoles is another thing. They've just come down in price. And so it isn't the big sale that it once was. It's smaller incremental sales. So there's a lot of that kind of things that's happening as well. Another factor is innovation. Some companies just haven't infused enough investment back in the company to be innovative or creative with their marketing or anything that they do that differentiates themselves. The companies I see that are able to get over the plateau eventually are the ones that really lead with innovation. And then they have the people and the processes in place to build on, to move that innovation forward. So that might be part of your problem. What I would recommend is do a strategic planning meeting, have a retreat type meeting that's facilitated, and allow someone to come in and help you map out the next 3 to 5 years in your company. And really, I think you'll find that some of these things will emerge as the reason why you haven't been able to have that growth. And I think that'll become obvious at that point. So thanks for the great question.